So this isn't a go at having a go at like police officers themselves, the officers that's on the beat. It's the people that are making decisions, the people that are choosing how and where to use the resources they've got at hand to keep the public safe. So I've been pulled over this morning at one of these police checkpoint jobbies. Unmarked car came swooping in, pulled in front, then the follow me lights came on, led into this car park where there was, I would say, 40, possibly even 50 officers. I reckon there were 8 bikes, 2 vans, minimum of 2 unmarked, and some sort of, I think it was like really big van, sort of maybe a 7.5 tonner. So yeah, 40 to 50 police officers, that's excluding the ones on the bikes and in the cars. So I was pulled over for my number plate not being correctly spaced. Now, number plate's got 6 characters, and basically instead of having about a 1-inch gap between the first 3 characters and the second 3, it's not got the gap there. Yeah, it's illegal, so I'll probably have a fine come in. They didn't really explain that. Just said that I was been issued a piece of paper that would say that I am being put forward for prosecution. But that's my choice. I got the number plate made. That is what it is. But is there not better use for all them officers than what is? They've been on parking warden duties, issuing tickets. There were no education. There were no you need to get this number plate changed in X amount of days and produce your car at an MOT station. There was no advice on the plate, which again, it's not their fault. I'm guessing they've been detailed that test. I'm sure them police officers, when they joined, didn't sign up to be stood in a car park issuing pensioners that some were there for. I think the elderly lady behind me were being done for because she'd got one of those solar toys in her windscreen. I could overhear. It might not have been that, but she was definitely being challenged on that. I'm sure they signed up, to tackle real crime. We've got knife crime going around. There's issues, county lines, violent crime. There's, from what I can see, there weren't anyone there that I would look at and think he's been pulled in because his load is unsafe, or he's been pulled in because he was doing 40 mile an hour down High Street. There's just a lot of misdemeanors. Now there were a builder there. He was having his load checked on his trailer. Now anyone could see that load was we're all secure. If anything, it gone a bit overkill on the amount of straps he'd got on it. The load was safe, but they were checking that. And then there was someone there dipping his tank. Now I thought the whole tank dipping, I thought that went out when Cherry Diesel did. And I didn't think it was police that dipped tanks. I mean, everyone had police jackets on, but I thought it was, I know it's not Vosa anymore, but I thought it was them that dipped tanks and what have you. But he was being written up for something. Say, an elderly lady behind me who'd been written up for something. I've been written up for something. And they're just a production line of people just been written up. People going about the daily business, just being written up. And I mean, it doesn't really do anything for public police relations either. like I said, they're doing a job. It's not them that this is a dig at. They've been detailed this task for today, and that is how someone that's paid the pop star wages, someone upstairs, sat in a suit behind a desk, that's how they've deemed the taxpayers' money will keep the streets of Suffolk safe today. Now you could say that they might catch the odd, of every 100 cars they pull over, or every 500 cars, they might just pull over someone ferrying God knows how much worth of drugs. They might find a gun, weapons, I don't know. But my car weren't searched. I weren't breathalyzed, which I find odd. If they're gonna have a look round my car, seeing for any defects, I would have thought a quick win would be breathalyzing people or drug swabbing people. None of that. It was just a ticket writing conveyor belt. Police, like I said, police do a good job. It's not a dig at them at all. It's the person that thinks that that's the way to tackle crime, is just to write tickets. All that's happened is there's a load of people in and around Averill now tonight is going to be pissed off, especially anyone that's actually been a victim of real crime, violent crime. If they've waited 28 hours, which apparently the wait is these days for a police visit if you've been burgled, that's because the resources have been thrown at pulling Janice over because she's got a grandson's picture on her back window or something or other, or pulling someone over because they've, the number plate ain't correctly spaced. Now that number plate don't walk around with a knife in its hand. That number plate doesn't stick it on vulnerable people to hold drugs. It's a number plate. It's not committing any crime. But that sort of resourcing, that in itself, that's the criminal act for today. I think that is the real crime that's happened today. That someone has been allowed to sit, or a collective number of people has been allowed to sit around a desk and say, "How are we going to keep the people of Suffolk safe today?" I know. Let's pull a load of them over for misdemeanors. Let's pull them over for misdemeanor offences, make a lot of money while we're at it. Don't forget that. Don't forget to be writing your tickets out. It seems that the discretion's been taken out of the officers' hands at the roadside, because the tickets, I asked if there were going to be a fine with mine, and they were quite pleasant. He was polite. He had good bedside manner, if you want. He said he couldn't tell me if there'd be a fine because it's not up to them to decide. They forward the tickets on and they'll be processed in a central office, which will probably sting everyone with as much of a fine as what they can get away with. I'm sure it won't be a turn up at an MOT station and get a ticket stamped and I'll get away with it. I'm sure there will be a fine. I'd be very surprised if there even is some sort of proof that I've rectified the number plate. But the discretion's been taken out of it. It's not a case of, look, take the obstruction in your window down, if that's where it were that the lady who had been pulled over for behind me. Get your number plate changed. Have you got other number plates on you? Can you quickly change them? None of that. Everything's done centrally so they can maximise the profit out of today. Now, when I were to get home, if our place has, say, been burgled, I'd be pretty upset that they were all officers that could be out doing what I'm sure they signed up to do, the job that they want to be doing. I'm sure they don't want to be stood at the side of the road issuing tickets like that. If anything, a couple of them looked a bit uncomfortable, a few of them didn't really look to be doing anything, looked bored. That job could have probably been done with a quarter of the staffing that they had there, but yeah, that's what they've done, and someone will stand up in a performance review, I'm sure. Whoever's made the decision to deploy all them staff there, I'm sure they'll sit there in a performance review with their boss at some stage and say, on the whatever date it is, 25th of July, we went into Haverhill Town Centre and we made approximately £4,000 from ticketing, and we prosecuted 50, 70 people, maybe more. That'll go on their arrest numbers, I'm guessing, on their figures. That it's a lot of quick wins, and I think this runs a lot deeper than just ticketing people. This is it manipulating the figures? Is it so at the end of the year, people who get paid the pop star wages can say, we've challenged or we've prosecuted however many thousand people this year? What percentage of that is these misdemeanors? You know, it's the victimless crimes. It's a crime, yet I'm not trying to shy away from the fact that number plate's illegal, but it's a victimless crime. It's not affecting the way the ANPRs can read it, and I've had that from, you know, a good source at the police who, you know, he says absolutely no way does it affect it. That the ANPRs will still read that number plate, so it's not affecting that. It's doing the figures, and it's disgusting, really. There's no real winners out of today. Society hasn't won. We've not taken dangerous people off the streets. I mean, yeah, they might get lucky. They might catch a car or two with no insurance or no tax. But I'm sure they'd get the same amount of hits just driving around with the ANPR running anyway. So yeah, they've not won. The police haven't won. Like I said, they don't want to be doing that, I'm sure. Them staff, you know, I'm sure it's not nice, if anything, just knowing that what they're doing, it's not really making a difference. They're not really made a difference today, and I'm sure, like I said, that's not what they signed up for. Taxpayers not won. Yeah, a lot of tax resources thrown at it. So, yeah. I mean, there's someone that's sat upstairs that's won because it looks better on his or her figures. So fair play to him. Yeah, it's, I would say not good. Not good, really.